What are you doing here?
Next Wednesday,
You're such a good landlord.
it's a night of confrontations.
Did you set Maurice up? No, why would I do that? So you're really over me.
Can they face the truth?
You don't love him like you love Zack. Are you still in love with Karen?
No matter the consequences.
They have Maurice on tape confessing to the crime.
This is crazy.
Tyler Perry's Sistas. All new episode next Wednesday at 9. Watch it live.
Hey my Sistas fans, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing amazing. Okay guys, I know I haven't been putting out videos that often. Guys, please bear with me. I'm 39 weeks, I'm about to pop, and most of the times I'm out of breath. I can't even complete the video. But before I dive into this breakdown for the trailer for next week's episode, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and definitely share and leave a comment so that I know what you guys are thinking. And we're gonna go right into it. So the name of next week's episode is The Stress, and that is Tyler Perry Sistas season 5 episode 3. Let's dive into it. Alright, so the trailer starts off where the episode left off basically, which is Danny walking in on Andi and Gary. Andy, like, I'm really hoping that there's a plan. I'm hoping that she has a plan for sleeping with Gary, because it could not just be sleeping with Gary. There has to be a plan. She's smart, right? But she would be the dumbest, smartest person that we know, or the smartest, dumbest person that we know, if she falls back into this trap of just sleeping with Gary. I'm thinking that maybe she has a plan to get out of this lawsuit and to actually have Gary leave her alone for good, by manipulating him in some way to let her either keep the penthouse and the car, or if that's not the case, I guess she's fallen back into the same trap again with this Gary situation, because Gary's like, I'm gonna show you why you keep coming back. I mean, I know Good D would let you do a lot of crazy stuff, but I'm hoping she has a plan and it's not just going back because of the good deed. So Danny walks in, and Danny is like the only person that's looking for Sabrina, and realizing now that she's not there. So she's at Andy's, I'm guessing, trying to get some answers, see if Andy can make a few phone calls to find out if she has been locked up, because remember, Logan did tell her that they're investigating her, and then they haven't been able to get in contact. She went to Maurice's place, and Calvin said that Maurice wasn't there, and she was explaining the whole situation to Calvin, and they exchanged numbers. So she's trying to figure out where her friend is, while everybody else is so occupied. Karen is occupied with her baby and her baby daddy stuff. And as we speak of Karen, let's go to her scene. So Karen baby is alive, based on what we know from the last episode, and she is now being put on bed rest because she is stressing herself out. And I say stressing herself out because, I mean, really nobody is bringing the stress to her. She's just overthinking everything and doing the most. So her mom is there with her, Miss Lisa, and I'm still on the fence about Miss Lisa, about what she said last week when she asked Zack, like, is she a bitch, when she was referring to his new girlfriend. And Miss Lisa has always been a level-headed person, so when she made that comment, it was like, oh, okay, I understand that you're protecting your daughter and whatnot, but I mean, never disrespect another woman when she hasn't done anything to you. You don't even know her, right? So Karen and her mom is having a conversation, and she's saying, I guess you don't love him like you love Zack. I'm thinking they're referring to Aaron. At this point, Karen, please leave Aaron alone. Let that man go until you find out if it's his child. You are just as much as that you are stressing yourself out, you are stressing that man out as well. That man loves you and he wants to be there for you, but he doesn't understand boundaries and he's just pushing it. If you let him go, I think he will finally understand and leave the whole situation alone. Like, he's just pressing everybody about this Karen thing, and it's like he's becoming annoying with the whole thing, right? Speaking of Aaron, in the end of video promo, we see where he's at the gym and he sees Zack and he's like, can we talk? He wants to talk about Karen again. what exactly would you need to talk to Zack about Karen, Aaron? Like, what are you trying to figure out? You know that she still loves him. So what, you're trying to find out if he still has love for her too? I don't get it, Aaron. Like, I seriously don't get your obsession with this woman. No, I understand where Aaron is coming from. Don't get me wrong, I do understand where he's coming from. I'm just over the whole situation because he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and it's not going anywhere because Karen is not responding. So it's like, it seems as if he's just a bother, and it's so degrading to him. Based on the season 1 Aaron that we met and this Aaron right now, is like, who is this person? This is not the Aaron that we met the first time. But he wants to talk to Zack about the whole Karen situation. I'm wondering if he's the one that initiates the whole sit down with both him and Zack, or it was Miss Lisa's idea. But we know that there's going to be a sit down with all 3 of them. Now Aaron comes up, and that whole thing just gets Zack in trouble with Fatima again. I mean, from last week's episode, we see Zack is sexually frustrated. He just wants to have a good time with his woman, but everything about Karen being in the hospital just keeps popping up. Karen called Fatima a whole lot of bitches, and Zack did not really do a good job at shutting it down. If we watch Fatima, and we see when Nathan was talking to Fatima kind of crazy, and he was like, yo, watch your mouth, watch your mouth. I think that should have been his same response to Karen. I'm gonna do another video to talk about why Zack is scared to shut this whole Karen thing down. But I mean, he's not really given the same energy like he would give somebody else when he's trying to shut shit down. He's been soft with her even after mad disrespect over and over again, and he's still like, so I'm guessing that's the reason Fatima is asking the question, if he still has feelings for Karen. And we didn't see where he responded, but we know that Zack is probably gonna take a deep breath, and he's going to be like, Fatima, I'm not in love with Karen. He's going to say that he still got love for her based on the fact that they were there together for 3 years and the possibility of she carrying his baby. But I'm sure he's going to shut that down about having feelings for Karen. And Fatima is going to want him to work through whatever it is that he got going on with her so that they can move on. I mean, Zack is over it. Zack is so over it. He just wants to move on, live a happy life with Fatima, but this thing just keeps on popping up about Karen. Talking about Zack and not being able to catch a break. So he's at the gym working out, and guess who shows up? Deja. So for those who don't know, Deja is Zack's tenant from next door. She just moved in recently, and she is at him. She's trying to get him. And Fatima shut it down a few times, but I guess she's not stopping. So she's rubbing on his shoulder. She's like, you're such a good landlord. And Fatima sees it. Fatima is immediately frustrated. I mean, because she knows her type, and she knows that she's not going to ease up. So that's another thing that's going to cause problem in Zack's life. Like, Tyler Perry, give our man Zack a break. This man has been through so much. He just wants to love on his woman and just live stress-free, but then it keeps coming for him. I mean, if I'm not wrong, I think this is the episode where Fatima is gonna slam Deja's hand in the locker. Deja, you asked for it because Fatima told you to stay away from Zack. Stay away, leave him alone, find somebody else. I mean, you just slept with Nathan, so why are you still trying to come at this man? Fatima is not taking any checks, and she's not running any jokes when it comes down to her man, even if she's upset with him that he didn't shut the whole Karen thing down. But she's not taking any checks. Alright, so the last few scenes we're going to talk about is we see where Andi finally tells Fatima that they have Maurice on tape confessing to the crime, and we heard that sarcastic confession that Maurice makes. You know, Maurice always makes a joke about everything, so that confession is what they have. Then we see Q and Calvin getting into it, because Calvin is confronting Q, asking him like, did you set Maurice up for the bank robbery? They all know that Q did it, but Q set him up. And in the end of video promo, we see where like they're asking Q to leave, and Q is like, I'm not leaving because I have a warm bed. I'm really wanting to see how this is gonna play out with Q, because Q and Calvin is not gonna stay there with Q. I'm wondering how they're going to get him to retract that tape that he made where Maurice is confessing and he knows that he's the one that did it. I mean, I was rooting for Q. He played like all the stories he told, and he was like remorseful and trying to get persons to forgive him, and this is what he turns around doing. So I understand where Calvin is coming from, frustrated, because he's one of the persons that begged for him just like I did. He's one of the person that was like, give him a second chance, hear his story out, see where he's coming from, and then go from there. And to then turn around and do that to Maurice, like to Maurice of all persons, that's just real sad. But that's what these men will do. So Calvin and Maurice is at it because we see where Calvin finally finds out that Maurice has been locked up. So I'm guessing he figures out why he's been getting all those calls from the prison. The final scene is Danny and Preston. So Danny and Preston, like, we had a real heartfelt moment in last week's episode, but Danny was at work and Danny was not trying to hear it. And I understand where she's coming from. He wants to give her this ultimatum, like, tell me you don't want to. It's not really an ultimatum, but why would you be telling me that at work? You're going to marry the girl. That's what you said you're going to do. And now you want me to tell you not to go because I love you. Like, this moment should have been something that we had a private conversation about, not at work. So we see they're on the phone and Preston is like, so you're really over me? We don't get a response from Danny, but Danny is not over Preston. I just think she's over the situation. Like, she liked Preston a lot, but she just couldn't deal with him not knowing his boundaries, him not respecting her space, he not wanting to learn her culture, even though she wasn't willing to learn his culture either way. So they weren't communicating effectively, and I guess that's what caused the relationship to kind of like go downhill, and it just didn't recover. So now he's going, I guess, out of town to propose to this girl that he knew for elementary school, but yet still he's calling Danny to make sure that she's over him. Preston, I think you need to give yourself some grace and give yourself some time before making that proposal to that girl, because you will regret it if it's not something that you truly want to do. And I think you and Danny could probably work it out, but it's gonna take some time and you guys have to communicate better. Alright guys, so that was my quick little breakdown for next week's episode 3, The Stress. Tell me what you think in the comments. What about my predictions and what you think is going to happen in next week's episode? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like, share, leave a comment, and check out all the other videos on our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.